knew it was bad to stay there, so I chose to leave. I wanted to stay, but then when there were a lot of things that weren't gonna change anyways, I mean, I'm not stupid. And I want to be a bigger streamer, I want to be a bigger creator, but I'm not that fucking desperate. I thought that would have been really cute. Where, like, all of us poured our money into, like, you know, funding the lawyer team or whatever together, and it was really cute, you know? It was like a war chest and group together. That would have been so cute. That would have been so fucking cute. Yeah, see, Virgil, I can imagine, but that's the difference between choosing to stay there and choosing not to, see? That's the other thing. You have to realize that there's a big difference. What do I get from signing it? And they were like, oh, we think it would be better for your future.
Well, look who the cat dragged in. We have fresh new Nijisanji controversy again, though this time it wasn't because Nijisanji was self-reporting, no. None of the Nijisanji VTubers have been acting out, and the company hasn't issued any new statements or graduations yet. This time, Nijisanji's controversy comes from one of their ex-talents, Sayu Sincronisity, who used to be known as Zaion Lanza when she was a Nijisanji VTuber. During a Twitch stream when Sayu was playing palworld for more than 10 hours, her lips went loose, and she talked about the events leading up to her termination. Sayu revealed before her termination she received a contract, and she only had 3 hours to sign it if she wanted to leave on mutual terms with Nijisanji. Unfortunately, there was no time, because 3 hours was just not enough time for Sayu to send the document to her lawyer so she could get a second opinion. Instead, Sayu was forced to ask the opinions of her friends. But in the end, after the 3-hour time limit expired, Sayu still hadn't signed the document, and so she was given a 3-hour extension. This was when the contract was sent to a lawyer, who confirmed the contract was there just so the company could have something on top of the NDA to stop Sayu from speaking out after leaving the company, and that there was no point in signing it. The implications here are Nijisanji tried to pressure Sayu into signing a document that was not beneficial to her in order to silence her. Thankfully, Sayu didn't sign the documents. Sayu would also reveal that she knew that Nijisanji was going to put out an entire termination notice listing bullet points of her mistakes. And she actually informed Nijisanji that it would be a better narrative for both sides if they didn't put out bullet points of what she did wrong. To which Nijisanji replied, they have to protect their brand.
Sounds like blackmail, kind of, yeah. They just kept going on about, we have to protect our brand, ooh. And I was just like, I think it would be I even told them it would be a better narrative. And this is what I told them in quotes. It would be a better narrative for both sides if you were to not list the bullet points. And they said, we have to protect our brand. We have to protect our brand. And I was just like, your brand? This is a very bad idea. And lots of other people, legal people, told me that this was a very bad idea too. It was really funny. It's so crunchy!
Obviously, this was a bad idea. Sayu thought it was a bad idea, and so did her legal representatives. But as we all know, Nijisanji went through with the Zaion termination document anyways. This is what Sayu had to say on her live stream. So have a listen.
I mean, I told the story before, but it was supposed to be a mutual leaving, but then they told me, oh yeah, if you want to leave mutually, you have to sign this other contract saying that you won't say anything. It was really weird. I still have the contract, by the way. If like any legal people want to see that one too. I sent that to my lawyer before as well, and it was just like, yeah, pretty much this is just a silencing contract on top of like your NDA, so it's like I don't really see the point. And I was like, yeah, I don't see the point either. Because I remember telling my lawyer, I was just like, I was like, hey, here, look, they sent me a second contract to send to me. Or, no, they sent me a second contract and gave me a time limit of less than a day to sign it. And if I didn't, then they would say, oh, you're terminated and we're not saying it's on mutual terms. That's what they said. And I have screenshots of that too. I keep receipts of everything just because I don't like telling stories, quote unquote. I don't like the whole he said, she said shit. Yeah, it was really iffy. I think was that one of the things I left out of the fucking document? Oopsie. But, yeah. Time for another live, yeah. So here's what actually happened. It was like, oh yeah, if you want us to say, like, we're leaving on mutual terms, you have to sign this other contract by, like, this time, like, it was in, like, 5 hours or something. And I was like, No, it was 3 hours. It was like 3 hours. Whatever, it's the screenshot. The screenshot has it. And then it was like, I read the contract and I was like, well, it's really short. But then I sent it to my lawyer and I was like, oh, they want me to sign this. And he was like, nah, there's no point in you signing this. I don't think it's worth it for you to sign it. And then I was like, okay, well, no. Sorry, it was me sending it to my friends asking them if I should sign it, what they thought. And then I sent it to my lawyer. But because what happened was there was no time. There was no time to send it to my lawyer and get them to answer before the time was up. So I was asking friends, and then I was like, can I at least have time to ask my lawyer? And they were like, nah, the time limit is here. And I was like, okay, well, shit. And then so I eventually went to the lawyer, and I eventually got to tell him after the time limit, after I asked them for an extension. I was like, please, can I have an extension to look at it a little bit longer? And then they were like, no. And then when I asked for the 3-hour extension and the time had reached the time, I was like, well, fuck, I'm doomed anyway. They're gonna release the announcement and it's just gonna say, like, we didn't mutually leave. And then they said, then when I reached the limit, the time, they said, okay, you asked for a 3-hour extension, fine, here you go. And I'm like, you're giving it to me now after we reach the time limit and I haven't signed it? Is this how desperate you are to get me to sign it? And that's when I finally gave it to my lawyer, and then I just declined it. What do I get from signing it? And they were like, oh, we think it would be better for your future. They actually, and the screenshot says that too, we think it would be better for your future if the termination said mutually left. And I'm like, well, yes, it would be, wouldn't it? Fuck you. And that's actually what they said. That was what their offer was. They were like, we think it would be better for your future if it said mutually leaving. I'm like, yes, it would be. Well, fuck you. Yeah, so I just said fuck it and I didn't care. Because, I mean, like, that's not worth signing some stupid silencing contract. But I guess maybe it was, because everyone gave me shit for outing them anyway. So what the fuck, man? Maybe I should just shut the fuck up. I don't know. But yeah, no, so I turned down the mutually left exclusive thing for this, and then they still got shit for it, so fuck it. Oh, man. I mean, I'll put it this way. I had a bunch of things to write in that document long ago. The document was originally 35 pages long, but it was shortened to what it was because there were a lot of things that were, like, pointless to put in there. Just other little things, little shade things I could throw, but it was like, whatever. They didn't really matter that much, but that's one of them. I basically did my best to break as little NDA as possible. Like, there were some things where it's like, well, fuck it, that you're gonna break it one way or another. But then there were a lot of other things that were like, oh, you don't need to put that in there. It'll just break something else. I'm like, fine. But there was so much else I wanted to put in there. Yeah, 35 pages from 3 months, crazy. How long is the NDA since they can't be forever? I don't know. But they broke it once they terminated it. So a lot of the people there, like, their mindset is very different. They stay there because they want what they get from being there.
You can see Sayu was extremely frustrated by the situation Nijisanji put her in, especially regarding the events that led to a termination. Sayu would respond to people saying that she might not have had enough work experience to judge her situation at Nijisanji, to which Sayu replied by explaining she did have work experience at very reputable companies and that she was a tester for both Google and Apple, two of the largest tech companies in the entire world. Sayu would also go on to compare her work environment at Apple, Google, as well as Nijisanji. And this is what Sayu had to say.
I remember people used to be like, oh my god, like, she's never worked in a real company before. Bro, wouldn't know, but I worked in Google, and then before that I worked at Apple. In the headquarters. With my awesome boss, who loved me very much, who I loved very much. That's crazy. Yeah. Apple was wonderful, by the way. Over almost 2 years at Apple. Such a fun time. Such good food. Such good food. I know, right? It's crazy. Yeah, no, honestly, I can see why people aim to work at, like, Fang and stuff. Because, yeah. I know, I sold fruit! Yeah! No. Honestly, the work environment in the Apple side was really good. It was really nice. Really good work environment. Everyone's very friendly. Everyone's very very like personable. And there's a lot of good people there, like just in general. But the fun part is going to the, the engineer side and being like, haha, this broke, haha, come fix it, go fix it. Oh my god, it's broken. Testing is so important. It is important. It's also fun because like I'm a very good like, yeah, so that's the other thing. Like when I was testing for like Genshin Impact and when I was testing for other games that were closed beta, like I was a tester. And so it's fun. It is very fun.
And that's Sayu's take on the situation. Obviously, these are events that have already occurred, and there's nothing we nor Sayu are able to do regarding the situation. I remember back then when Zaion Lanza was terminated and Sayu was forced to put out this giant expose explaining what she went through in the company. A lot of people thought she was the bad person in that situation. The only reason that changed is because after people saw how Nijisanji mistreated Selen Tatsuki, a lot of them wised up to the situation. They realized that there was stuff going on in Nijisanji that may not be as ideal as they hoped. As a result, Sayu's reputation would improve. She would gain a lot of subscribers on her YouTube channel. She went through a lot of milestones that she spent a lot of time trying to achieve after people began sympathizing with what she went through. While Sayu can't change her past, with all the public support she's been receiving, I think she'll do really well as an indie VTuber. That's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. This is Rex Nebula, signing out.